Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry now for Dalvin Cook. And now running right through it. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Detroit! Gun!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he'll be taken down inside Indy's 15-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. And even 50 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Over!
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Gun!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Steven Anderson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hot! Hot!
Back to throw here. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 93 yards. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
To throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, He's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Tavecchio puts this one through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They pitch it out to Cook. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, He looked like one of those guys.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Handoff comes to Cook. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Bill O'Brien, an offensive mind, and he's going to trust his offense here. They're going for it on 4th. They'll go with a keeper.
You often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan, almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and are able to stick the ball forward to pick up first downs.
A give. This is Cook. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They'll run it with Hill. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That almost felt like the defense said, he is not getting in. What a play.
Not only stopping him at the line, but pushing him back a yard as well. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. He's going to get it running right. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Jeremy Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Tavecchio to add the PAT. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Colts coming out now. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now this time he'll look to throw. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit.
They'll set up a throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Detroit. Detroit.
And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides.
Hey. Over. Check it back.
A toss to Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Over.
Back to throw now. now on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. Call it a pickup of 7, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Gone!
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll drop the throw. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All right, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They were looking to throw, holding in the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Tavecchio is good, and the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit! Hot! Hot!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 319! 319! Gone! 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 Hot! Hot!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He sets to fire deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Open space inside the 10. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. He gets this down to the 3. Brought the power run out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Third down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw. Flush to his right. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Hill. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. They're going to look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He'll drop to throw. Going up top. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And break. The tight end's got it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective game nonetheless.
On second down, here's Miller. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third and the nose of the football.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Hot! Hot!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Complete. He finds Blaine. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
36. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
He'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Watch him now, Barney!
Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tyquan Lewis makes the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now back to throw. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. The Pro Bowl corner, Jason Barrett, on the tackle.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Lucky 56.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's going to be caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. They come out here in the eye.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try to run it. It's Hill. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
Tavecchio puts this one through, and that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
3 down. Watch it now, Barney.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there for Indy. 57 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
Detroit!
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. The Colts on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this. Back now in Houston, it's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
We got three, fellas. Over!
Back to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd down, that's Miller. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And the Colts getting ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They run it again with Cook. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 9.
Watch him now, Barney.
Cook on the toss left. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And the catch made by Hilton. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Andre Howell. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. First down carry now for Miller. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Watch left. Stop right there.
Coming right, this is Cook on the toss play. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Texans on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 4.
4 down, check, 4 down. What's the ad?
On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he's on to punt for Houston. Time for a break. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he's on to punt for Houston. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. One man. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
Now that run, that's exactly why you stay with the running game. You don't abandon it totally. You stick with it, keep telling your guys to stay motivated, and they found a crease on that play.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to let it fly. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Colts on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And they'll run it here. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Texans, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.